Hello everyone, it's been a while since I recorded a video here on TradingView, so this time I will look at the euro dollar and I will walk you through my process of analysis. So always before I look and go to the smaller time frames where I may identify potential entries, I want to take a look what is going on the higher time frames. So what we can see here is a clearly very big downtrend, but with a lot of pullbacks, as you can see. But still, the most important thing is that you are able to recognize where the direction is, and clearly this is the downward reaction, so the downward trend. So what we see is that actually each time where market rised, it was limited at the upper side of this trading channel. So we can assume that this market is going to stay bearish until we see a decisive break to the upside. So what I see right now is some very nice move after a very long period of quite unclear price action. Okay, I know that there was a downtrend here, very nice actually since February of 2018. But if you take a look at this price activity here, okay, you can actually see that there were no clear direction regarding the shorter term swings. Okay, there were no clear 5-wave structure based on Elliott wave terms, which are needed for me to look for potential trades, because I want to trade within impulsive structures, not be trapped in some kind of a corrective movement. So recently, actually, when I was analyzing this pair, I thought that actually we will see a higher resistance being tested here on euro dollar, even back to these June 2019 levels. But what I see right now is a very decisive break to the downside. Okay, so it looks like that this breakout is for real, which means it's probably impulsive. Okay, so now this becomes very interesting for me. Why? Because, as I said earlier, I want to trade an impulsive waves. I want to be part of this trend, even if I missed the starting point of impulse. If the impulse is not completed, there still may be room to make money within this current trend. So what I want to look at is, if this was an ABC move, let's label this as a completed ABC. Okay, if this was an ABC rise, now we are breaking to the downside, then this current decline, okay, because it's a very strong, probably the most sharpest wave since market turned down actually since June of 2018. Okay, so look, if that's really the case, then you know that this is probably an impulse, because it's the strongest leg, as I said. So I want to look at the smaller time frames and see if we are already seeing 5-wave structure to the downside here. If not, then I know that there is still room for more downside after a pullback in the 4th waves. So let's go to the smaller time frame. Let's take a look at the daily. Okay, so on a daily, what I see is a very nice and strong breakdown here. Okay, very sharp move. So firstly, I want to connect this trend line. Actually, it's a channel. Okay, and notice that this channel actually was broken here. Okay, so if in a downward channel you have a lower trend line support broken, then you know that market is really in a strong bearish mode. This is called actually the base. This is the base channel, and it's actually taken from the Elliott wave Jeffries Kennedy's technique, and it's very useful stuff. And actually what it tells you if market is really an impulsive wave or it's in a corrective wave. Okay, so because we have this trend line broken, it actually suggests that we are in impulsive wave, impulsive structure. So I want to label this structure, and what I would do is probably label waves 1, 2. You have a wave, another wave 1, 2, 1, 2. So you are here somewhere in the middle of this big wave 3. Okay, and then you have here sub waves. Okay, and I will label this with black. Okay, and now you have here even lower degree of the Elliott wave cycles. Okay, so actually what we see here is now very nice and strong downtrend. So what is the potential idea to happen next? Well, my idea is that if the previous very strong very important swing low was broken decisively right there, because it was decisive move, because we have seen move well below that level, then obviously this means that that's a real breakout. Okay, so what I want to see is more weakness, but maybe after a bounce, and ideally this bounce will be seen as a fourth wave in Elliott wave terms. So what I would do is I would patiently probably wait on this fourth wave to form. Okay, I would not be looking for any longs down here. Definitely not. I would just patiently watch and observe the market activity if I see a pullback. And if I will see pullback in 3 waves back into this resistance, which would be a horizontal resistance here at 108.75. As you know, the previous support, if it's broken decisively, can become resistance. And then you have this same trendline resistance as a set of a base channel. So when base channel is broken, it normally indication that you are in a third wave. Okay, so when you have a fourth wave bounce, then this fourth wave can actually find resistance at this same trend line or at the middle of this trend line. Okay, I have a middle right there. Okay, so actually this trend for me is bearish, and I think that these pullbacks, upcoming pullbacks, can be very interesting, but only if they will unfold in a corrective fashion, which means in 3 waves or maybe in a 5 wave contracting range like a triangle, or maybe even 7 swings. But the important thing is that you have personality of a corrective movement, meaning slow and maybe choppy price action in a tight range, and definitely not something strong like this to the downside. If you will see something strong to the upside and maybe the upper trend line of this base channel broken, then obviously you will know that something is changing, right? But until then, I think that this downtrend is very healthy and could easily reach much lower prices. So if I go to even a smaller time frame, like a 4-hour chart, okay, maybe you can draw here another channel like that, okay, and that's a channel of a third wave. Now when this channel is broken and the previous swing high here at 108.35, then we could maybe say that we are now stepping into a fourth wave, and that's when you would use the fib levels for the fourth wave to make maybe even more important, or identify even more important potential resistance zone for a next turn to the downside. Okay, so I'm patiently waiting and watching the euro dollar, what will happen next. If we'll just move straight to the downside from here, then I'll just stay on the sideline and we'll wait maybe on price action to unfold with the fourth wave sometime in the future. But if we'll get bounce already now, then I think that these levels here at 108.75 could be very interesting. Okay, tourists, thank you very much for your attention. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please press like, support me, and I will make sure to record much more of them in the future. Okay, have a good day. Bye.